Meg Ryan's 90s rom-com charm, sunlit hair, a laugh like spring, gets rendered by AI as porcelain poise. But code can't trace the tenderness behind sleepless sighs. Now 63, she's more than America's sweetheart. She's its echo. Algorithms age skin, never sentiment. Redford's 70s Sundance stare, rebellious, golden, faces the AI's digitized elder. Reality, 88, from the way we were to environmental crusader. His timeline arcs like celluloid reel to reel. From heartthrob to herald, aging, for him, is cinematic evolution. Jamie Lee Curtis' 1978 Scream Queen Fire defies AI's glassy-eyed projection. Reality, 66, Oscar in hand, icon in stride. From Halloween to Everything Everywhere, she bends genres and time alike. True icons don't age quietly. They erupt through decades. Stallone's 70s underdog grit, bloodied gloves, defiant eyes, meets AI's weathered warrior. But reality at 78? Still sculpting legacies from Rocky to Tulsa King. Code guesses at where, not will. Time doesn't retire champions. It chisels them into myth. Basinger's 80s noir allure, platinum hair, hushed danger, meets AI's calculated canvas. But at 71, she's lived past algorithms' reach, from LA Confidential to Quiet Retreat. Art isn't a replica, it's felt. Code sketches the face, not the fire beneath. Stewart's 90s command, Starship Steel and Shakespearean grace, meets AI's brutal forecast. Reality, 84, a voice like thunder, legacy like gravity. From Picard to stage, he defies erasure. Time may wear robes, but legacy wears stardust and verse. Keaton's 70s Annie Hall charm, tie-loose wit and wide-eyed wonder, meets AI's faded silhouette. Now 79, she's layered decades from Reds to memoirs. Style icon, scene stealer, soul stayer. From rom-coms to resilience, aging isn't retreat, it's reinvention. Selleck's 80s Magnum mustache and sunlit swagger defy AI's stoic projection. Now 80, he's still anchoring blue bloods with gravel and grace. Time hands out wrinkles, he trades them for presence. True icons don't fade with years, they deepen like oak. Thompson's 80s time travel twinkle, Mallrat curls and Back to the Future gleam gets reimagined by AI as a softened echo. But at 64, she's moved from muse to director's chair. Pixels miss the pulse of progress. Code can't replicate reinvention. Before we continue these amazing celebrity transformations, here's a quick challenge for you. Can you subscribe to Then vs. Now Legends in the next 5 seconds? Smash that subscribe button and join us on this journey through time with your favorite stars. Douglas' 80s Wall Street edge, slicked hair, shark-eyed charm, meets AI's softened tycoon. Reality, 80, from Fatal Attraction to Kaminsky Method. Decades haven't dulled his command. Time may gray the crown, but legacy sharpens the blade beneath. Kate's 80s swim scene sparkle, iconic, untouchable, flickers through AI's imagined age. But at 61, she chose quiet over spotlight, grace over grasp. Some stars step back without fading. Time dims the frame, but nostalgia lights the screen forever. Foster's 70s prodigy poise, precise, piercing, meets AI's pale facsimile. Now 62, her legacy spans taxi driver to true detective. Algorithms estimate age. Artistry transcends it. Code counts years, Foster crafts eras. The lens remembers what code forgets. Weaver's 80s Ripley stance, fearless, sweat-soaked, seismic, shrinks in AI's still rendering. But at 75, she still commands galaxies and art houses alike. From Alien to Avatar, her fire hasn't flickered. Icons like her don't age. They evolve past orbit. Bridges' 90s Dude Shuffle, bathrobe cool, infinite calm, gets guessed at by AI's cold brush. But 75 holds more. Cancer survivor, Oscar winner, enduring soul. The algorithm sketches lines. It misses the soul's shape. Some roles can't be rendered, they're lived. Lang's 80s fire, volcanic eyes and velvet rage, meets AI's muted vision. Reality, 76. Sculptor of stormy roles from Tootsie to Feud. Grace aged like wine. Fury aged like thunder. Time may shift the face, but legacy carves its own immortal silhouette. De Niro's 70s intensity, mohawked, mirror-staring menace, faces AI's grayscale elder. But at 81, from Taxi Driver to Killers of the Flower Moon, he still reshapes cinema's spine. Time doesn't soften every blow. Some legends land harder with age. Fonda's 90s cool, single white female sharpness and noir-slick grace meets AI's faded frame. Now 61, she stepped away from the frame, not the story. From Hollywood lineage to quiet exit, aging isn't retreat. It's writing your own final reel. Shatner's 60s starship swagger, Captain's poise and pop art charm meets AI's brittle hologram. But at 94, he's touched actual space. Code can't capture cadence, charisma, or cosmic irony. Some legends aren't rendered, they're launched into myth. Nicholson's 70s grin, devilish, dangerous, unforgettable, meets AI's pale impression. Now 88, from One Flew Over to the Departed, his madness became masterpiece. The face may fade from light, but the smirk echoes forever in cinema's haunted corridors. Hamilton's 90s revolution, muscle, mother, machine breaker, shatters AI's softened guess. At 68, she still scorches the screen, defying decay from Terminator to Legacy Queen. Time writes rules, she rewrote them with fire. Some heroes outlive prophecy. Sheedy's 80s outsider glow, collide and quietly volcanic, gets coded by AI into grayscale restraint. But at 63, she's turned Breakfast Club echoes into mentorship and memoir. Pixels can't process evolution. Code forgets the fire in the quiet ones. Hopkins' 90s chill, Hannibal's stillness, eyes like scalpels, meets AI's brittle estimate. But at 87, he's still composing, performing, and transcending genre. From the silence to symphonies, time doesn't tame the maestro. It tunes him to eternity. Ryder's 90s goth glow, velvet rebellion and haunted eyes, meets AI's faded enigma. At 53, she's threaded Beetlejuice to Stranger Things, icon turned touchstone. Her path isn't past, it's reinvention. From muse to multiverse, aging is expansion. Fonda's 70s firebrand grace, fitness queen to fierce activist, gets AI's sterile sketch. But at 87, she still commands stages, screens, and streets. Algorithms trace faces. Art leaves footprints. Her legacy isn't rendered. It's marched, spoken, lived. Miami Vice era cool, pastel blazers, stubble, and rebel charm meets AI's grayscale vision of age swagger. But reality reveals 75 years of resilience, from detective to patriarch roles. Dawn's career isn't frozen in time. It evolves like a sunset, bold and burning to the last frame. Her 60s soprano, framed in nanny skirts and regal poise, becomes AI's brittle guess of aging grace. Yet at 89, Dame Julie is more than pixels. She's Mary Poppins to Queen Clarice, echoing through generations. Code can mimic wrinkles, but not the cadence of legacy. Silver Fox charm first shimmered in American Gigolo, now rendered by AI into lines of calculated grace. But at 75, reality holds deeper texture, from Pretty Woman to global activism. Time sketches in truth. AI only approximates. Real elegance isn't predicted, it's earned. Pfeiffer's 80s magnetism, Ice Blonde in Scarface, Velvet in Batman, gets rendered by AI in soft tones. But at 67, her edge still cuts. From femme fatale to layered grace, pixels miss the pulse behind a poise. Code can't mirror what mystery contains. Sarandon's 90s gaze, smoke, justice, and wild roads meets AI's faded guess. Now at 78, from Thelma and Louise to firebrand causes, she roars on. Lines deepen, not diminish. Time may crease the skin, but legacy burns in the rearview like a desert sun. Eastwood's 60s squint, dust, danger, and silence shrinks an AI's cracked outline. But at 95, he still directs with iron tempo. From Unforgiven to Cry Macho, he outpaces the algorithm. Some icons don't age, they just reload with quieter thunder. From 80s ironclad muscle and Terminator glare to AI's imagined version of robotic age. Yet at 77, the real Arnold flexes beyond code. Actor, governor, icon. Time may bend metal, but legends like him aren't forged by scripts. They rewrite the genre itself. Her 70s smile, all-spirited softness, is reimagined by AI into porcelain aging. But at 78, she's grit and grace, from Norma Rae to spoiler alert. Pixels can't trace passion or the fight in her eyes. Behind every laugh line is a story no algorithm can tell. Whip-cracking through jungles and galaxies, Ford's prime was carved in motion. AI drafts a creased adventurer, but at 82, he still charts new paths, Indiana Jones to 1923. From smuggler to saga closer, aging is just another epic chapter. Ghostly glamour and 90s edge, Demi Moore's piercing gaze once lit the screen. AI renders her aged in code and symmetry, but at 62, she's sculpted by reinvention, not prediction. From G.I. Jane to Wellness Mobile, her arc proves, time may fade gloss, but not grit. From the smoky heat of body heat to the voice that could melt film, Kathleen Turner's 80s allure meets AI's brittle impression of age. Now 70, her legacy spans Broadway, activism, and bold reinvention. Algorithms compute features, real impact can't be coded. Bubbly brilliance and laugh-in and 80s rom-com sparkle meets the algorithm's guess of golden age. But at 79, Goldie lives vividly, from film to philanthropy. AI may map the years, but her spirit defies the grid. Light like hers isn't aged, it's timeless. From Field of Dreams stardust to Dances with Wolves resolve, Costner's 90s stoicism meets AI's clean-line vision of 70. But reality rides harder. Yellowstone grit, director's ambition. Time doesn't erase westerns. It etches legends in dust and celluloid. His 90s gravitas, calm eyes, velvet voice, becomes AI's aged rendering of poise. But at 88, Freeman is more than prediction. He's narration itself, from Shawshank to Invictus. Algorithms decode faces, he shape meaning. Some voices, once heard, never age. The fire-eyed fury of Scarface and Dog Day Afternoon collides with AI's muted guess at 85. But the real Pacino still burns, from stage to screen. His legacy isn't in lines, it's an impact. Some careers explode like gunfire and echo forever. Saturday Night Live wit and vacation mischief defined Chevy's prime, 80s slapstick with a smug grin. AI imagines the aged prankster in static form, but at 81, his real legacy lives in cult laughter and awkward genius. Comedy fades from screens, not from memory. A cockney cool in Alfie, later a stoic guide in Inception, Kane's timeline runs deep. AI conjures a 92-year-old in pixels, but reality is richer. Knighted, revered, retired on his own terms. From swagger to sage, aging isn't retreat, it's a masterclass. 90s exotic glam, Wayne's World riffs, and True Lies allure meets AI's polished guess at 58. But her reality blends music, film, and cultural pride. No filter can frame identity. She's more than nostalgia, she's a voice that still sings. Her 80s brilliance, layered accents, quiet power, meets AI's graceful forecast at 75. But the real Streep holds 21 Oscar nods and a career sculpted in nuance. Algorithms simulate age, she redefined it. Time may tarnish gold, but her legacy gleams undimmed. 70s disco nights in Grease swagger live in memory. Hips loose, grin electric. AI conjures a softened version at 71, but Travolta's story pulses on, from Pulp Fiction to personal reinvention. Pixels can mimic the past, but icons keep dancing forward. From The Graduate's nervous charm to Rain Man's brilliance, Hoffman's early presence defied convention. AI drafts an 87-year-old in softened tones, but the real arc spans decades of daring. He didn't age into roles, he expanded them. Greatness isn't aged, it's accumulated. Studio 54, Shimmer and Moonstruck Magnetism meet the algorithm's take on age 79. But reality belts louder, still touring, still unbending. AI can't recreate her timbre, her defiance, her reinventions. Time dims stars. Cher turns it into spotlight. 90s heartthrob perfection, sun-kissed hair, Fight Club abs, gets reimagined by AI at 61 with code-smooth lines. But Pitt's real arc stretches from Legends of the Fall to producing powerhouses. Beauty may fade, but range redefines the real. Once raw magnetism in 9.5 weeks, then bruised brilliance in the wrestler, Rourke's path isn't easily coded. AI attempts 72 in symmetry, but his truth is jagged, earned. Algorithms chart time. He carved pain into performance. Some stories must be scar to shine. Then versus Now Legends is feeling a bit lonely. 99% of you haven't subscribed yet. Show us some love and hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you the jaw-dropping journeys of your favorite stars. And if you're as fascinated by then and now glow-ups as we are, check out our previous videos. Trust us, they're totally worth your time and ours too.